Okay, so this is the last video of the day, and so I'm taking the thermostat here and I'm setting it up to cool because we're out of the hot zone, and cool 75, and that's where I'm leaving the thermostat. And so it's the last video. This is the time when I like to stop and express my thanks and gratitude to my client. Your trust in your business means the world to my family and I, so thank you. Both of these bathrooms have vent fans that are hooked up to the switch, which is good. It's a really good idea, especially if you don't have windows in the bathrooms. But these windows, these vent fans, by the way, they vent directly into the attic. So all the moisture from bathing goes up into the attic. This commode is too close to the wall. There shouldn't be more than 15 inches between the wall and the center of the commode, and it's loose. Neither of the lavatories have percolators. That's the word of the day. Overflow drains, and they're not required. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right. We come down here and we look a little bit, and we see that we do not have a escutcheon ring around the drain. This is an escutcheon ring. The drain should have an escutcheon ring. This is the interior plumbing and appliances. The commode shut-off valve is not accessible. Get to that. Okay. Here's my method. The hall bathroom commode shut-off valve is not accessible, and neither commode has escutcheon rings. But if you want to turn the water off to the commode, good luck with that. If you think you can get in there, if you think you can. Bathtubs with showers are supposed to have universal handles so they can't turn all hot water on, so you don't scald yourself. And the drain stopper don't work for me. Okay, I couldn't get it to work before, so I used a bowl to pour water for the overflow. And the reason why I said I did that is because when I was in the crawl space, I noticed that this bathtub is leaking into the crawl space. Now, where it's leaking from exactly, I don't know. It's coming from the drain, and you saw that in the crawl space video. Hopefully you're looking at all these. The plumbing in the crawl space is not insulated, and the PVC drains are not properly supported. They are held up with perforated tape instead of solid tape, so perforated plumber's tape. So the PVC drain, and that does not support upthrust. So the plumbing drain lines are not properly supported. The water supply lines are on the ground, not supposed to be on the ground, and not insulated. We've got some PEX water supply lines coming back here to the primary bedroom suite bathroom, and that PEX line underneath the crawl space right in here, it's not supported, and I think most of it's insulated, but we got a lot that's not insulated. So this is how I check the shower pan. We got a big gap right here on the handle side of the door stile. See, that's a single drain right there. So this is how we check. You see the rust in there? I was getting, kind of learning as I go, I was getting more rust out of the hot water side of the bathtub. I took a still image of that. This, you can get to the valve, but we do not have an overflow drain, escutcheon plate, excuse me. Hi, Timmy. Everything goes down, it's supposed to go down. Coming on along here, of course, there's no code that says you have to have a percolator. There's no code that says you have to have hots on the left, colds on the right. That you have to have an overflow drain. Okay? But over here, when coming underneath, There's an escutcheon plate for our drain. And we got one escutcheon plate for our water supply line, but we do not have an escutcheon plate for both of them. Kind of got a pretty big hole underneath there. That's what we got. This receptacle outlet is GFCI protected and it works. Okay. Here's our fan. It goes into the attic. Those are our lights. Now this isn't really plumbing, but we've got an electric receptacle outlet in this closet. And that is not grounded. That's a non-grounded receptacle. And it's not tamper resistant. And the foundation underneath this part of the closet in the crawl space is crumbling. The door kind of sticks right there. Let's mention that. We're mentioners. Stop. Primary bedroom south closet door sticks in its jamb. We're moving on along. Our ceiling fans are nice. Most of these things are going pretty good. This door, this drawer does not slide open and close. It's been painted closed. And this is the first bathroom. There's only 2 bathrooms, okay? But this receptacle outlet is not GFCI protected. And that's the only receptacle outlet that was not grounded. Okay. And yes, we're missing some receptacle outlets around in different locations. I mentioned that we do not have any in the formal dining area, but we've only got 3 in the living room. We got 2 between the bank of windows there on the north wall and this one. So there are no electric receptacle outlets in this area to this point. So you go from here all the way around to there. Double pane vinyl frame windows. Moving on along. Okay, in the laundry, 3-prong electric clothes dryer. This vent vents directly into the crawl space. And it's a flexible connector. It's supposed to be solid. It's supposed to go to the exterior. Okay. We should have a light switch, not a pull switch. Hot and cold should be labeled hot and cold. This should be GFCI. This should be GFCI. Okay. I know I was missing something electrical here. Plumbing. It'll come to me. The refrigerator does not have a water line hooked up to it. It's not making ice. Okay, I don't inspect refrigerators, but this is like mechanical equipment. It's like an air conditioner, all right? So what we expect, and I realize that it's new, but depending on its age, you may want to have the coils cleaned, you may want to have it serviced. We're going to go for a while. Anytime you have a kitchen counter that's wider than 12 inches, like on both sides of the range on the east side, anytime you have one of those, well then what we should have is electric receptacle outlets, and we do not have that. The burners are kind of unique here. Let's see if I can get this one. There's a lot of yellow. There's a lot of yellow in the flames. It's like something's not adjusted right. Bake, broil, warming drawer. We do not have an anti-tip device. That's what it looks like behind there. And I took a still image. And it's got a flash on it. This is our vent fan. It's high enough. I got some issues with it in the attic. It's not properly supported. And then on the roof, I got a camera pole. I think I'm still not through with this. And our screen is kind of bent up here. But what I'd like to do is hit it on high. Okay, it's sucking. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go the wrong direction. So we want to know. This whole bank almost is GFCI protected. That's GFCI protected. That controls this. This is GFCI protected. Okay, and the dishwasher is GFCI protected. Now the problem with a dishwasher being GFCI protected is that it's supposed to be on its own circuit. Its own circuit, but it's not. It's on this circuit. And then we have a receptacle outlet underneath here. And I'm guessing for a food waste disposal or something. That guy's kind of loose. And he is not GFCI protected. Then we come over here, we're missing our escutcheon plates on the drain and both the water supplies. And then we've got a flexible drain right here. Okay? Will that clog up on you? You bet. Is that code? No, it's not code. But I bought it at the box store. I bought it at Low Home parts store. I get it. They sell these things. I'm a hypocrite. I even installed one at my house. And then I got tired of taking it apart and cleaning it for my wife. So I went and I put the whole darn thing in right. And I haven't had a problem since. So if you do not have a self-cleaning, that's a code violation. Now here's another one. And I've yet to have a client say, hey bud, you did me a solid on this foul line here. But this sink is supposed to cascade down like this. Alright? When you come over here, that's called a foul line. That's hillbilly home inspection. Okay? F-O-U-L. It's where all the germs and the bacterium and the cooties and the viruses hide. So, and you know, your realtor will say, well, just put a little bleach under there. That's what they all say. And again, you know, I would never dissuade my client from seeking perfection. But I've yet to have anybody call me back and say, hey, bud, we got that, thanks. But this manufacturer, the sink came with these little clips. And the manufacturer's got instructions. You're supposed to drill little holes. It's not going to hurt. And they put little inserts in the holes. And then they screw the sink up to the bottom of the countertop there. And that's the way it's designed to work. And they just glued it up there. So you don't want to stand a baby up there or anything. If you notice, we're missing something here. Well, maybe, you know, it's not required. But we do not have a food waste disposal. And this line coming across here, okay, that's the drain line for the dishwasher. So when Elon Musk is flying around in his SpaceX and the thrust is putting the barometric pressure and he's changing our weather for us and puts all that pressure down there, okay, the dirty water in this sink goes through that line and goes into your clean dishes. Huh. So, something to think about. Now the dishwasher is not completely installed, it's just as loose as a goose. And I thought it wouldn't even work until I pushed the button down there and then I could hear it chime. There's a steam. That's how we clean our glasses. Okay. Everything looking good. Except that it's not connected right. It's on the kitchen circuit. It doesn't have an anti-siphon device. You know, except for those things, it's working pretty good. Now, I don't do portable microwaves. That's just not what we do. But it's here. I heard it might stay. I'm not sure. But, you know, in case you want to warm up a chicken pot pie when you're moving in. Wow, there we go. Check that out. And clean up around here a little bit. Get some moisture in here. Open it up. Put it on the platter. Coming down here. Cook by weight, clock, timer, cook. Cook. 1, 3, you gotta start. Spins around, the light comes on. Come on, Oster. Countdown. Got a nice hot rag. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. Nice hot towel right there. Now, this is kind of interesting. Just keep going. Okay, that's your hot water. I think hot water is that way. Might be cold water. Well, better it happens today. It's going to be... It's kind of loose. We're going to kind of leave that. I'm going to take a picture of that. Okay, but that's hot water. Let's just say you want to turn it off. Oh, don't make a liar out of me. But this hits the sill, so sometimes it doesn't turn off all the way. You're gonna go there, it'll turn off all the way. Like if you get stuck right there, you're gonna have a drip. You know, so maybe go all the way, and you know, just that's a workaround. And that's a workaround. Okay, so those are our I forgot the best part of the show. So they came in and they added all this nice splashback right in here. And for less than $20, they could have installed with the splashback. They could have installed over here, if you look closely. See these gaps? Okay, the plate fits over flush to the wall. It doesn't reach the box. It leaves this big gap in here. You get sparks inside of there, and then it crawls out of the box and comes on into your house. Hello, Mr. Fire. So, and it wouldn't fit with the regular screws, so they put drywall screws. Drywall screws would chew right through some electricity. And they sell these things called extenders. They're about $3 a piece. And I heard a code inspector call it a suppression ring a while back, and seemed like he was pretty smart and knew what he was talking about. A lot of people call them goof rings, and that's probably what tradespeople think about them. But they're like $3. You get the right kind of screws, put some rings in there. It's not a lot. It's just this wall because we don't have electric receptacle outlets over here. We don't have electrical receptacle outlets over there. So, you know, it'd have been a pretty easy fix. But there we go. I'll put it all back. And you're at 39 minutes. Let's just see. Sanitize, clean. How do you turn this thing off? Pull it out a little bit. I know how to turn it off. Turned it off because it's on the GFCI. It's on the GFCI. So, if you got some good, or maybe a chuckle from this, there's a like button right there. There's a like button right there. And if you've got insomnia, you know, I've been told, the word on the sheet says that my videos are so boring they'll put anybody to sleep. So if you got insomnia, there's a subscribe button right there. I don't have a Patreon account. These videos aren't brought to you by anybody but Good Home Inspection. They're primarily for the use of my client. And by the way, I'll answer all kinds of questions, but if my client has a question about this house, please call me. Please call me. Let's talk about it. Let me see if I can get you an answer. Let me see if I can explain something a little better. So, leaking crawl space. Plumbing's not properly insulated or supported. Missing some escutcheon plates. Toilet's too close. Can't get to that valve. No grounding in that closet. The door doesn't close really good. Foundation's kind of crumbling under that closet. Maybe that's why the door doesn't close that good. The vent fans vent into the attic. This room has a GFCI. The other bathroom does not. I saw a little bit of rust in the hot water side when I turned both the bathtub and the shower on. But it's an old house. That's what they say. Vent fans vent in the attic. I keep saying that. That's not GFCI protected. I only have receptacle outlets over here. We do not have spark suppression rings. Foul line, not properly supported. Flexible drain line. Dishwasher is not properly mounted. The drain line doesn't work right, and it shares a, every kitchen should have 2 electrical circuits. Since the refrigerator has one, that's 2 circuits. But the dishwasher should have its own circuit. If you have a food waste disposal, it can share the circuit with the dishwasher. Vent fan is crushed. Pipe's not supported in the attic. We do not have an anti-tip device. Water is not hooked up to the refrigerator. No GFCI. Not labeled hot and cold. No GFCI.